Pleasant good evening to each and everyone in Georgetown, Guyana, the diaspora, and elsewhere in the world. Fellow citizens of this world, we might be divided by culture, nationality, but we are all human beings. Created by the hands of the Almighty God, Allah, Bhagwan, or what you may call Him, but we did not create ourselves. The reason why I'm telling you all this here today, to let you realize and understand. I have been to 87 countries in the past. I don't count islands, I'd be more. I am looking for a white man and a black man. I have never seen it. I got African blood in me from Ghana, Indian blood in me from India, and other blood. Sometimes I make jokes and says, maybe my grandparents, man and woman, were maybe whores. I mean, that's a matter of humility. But knowing where the world came from, it is not a question to be answered by modern civilization because things happen. Whatever it was, let it be, because today I am here. So I can voice my opinion to the entire world. So let me say one thing first. I want to send my condolence out to the innocent family in Israel who are grieving their hostage that was seized by Hamas according to information, it's alleged, and for those who have been murdered, and especially the few the other day, and for the mother and father of the young brother that speak on the Democratic Convention the other day. I want to say my greatest condolence goes out to all, not only they all who lost their life in a selfish war. Not a war, a selfish murder. But I want to get down to it in the most natural way. Friends, to all Jews around the world, Shalom. I want to make it clear. We who are living in the Western power and other parts of the world share your grief and share what happened to you. And I wouldn't call in the biblical Bible story or the Quran, or I will not call in the Torah or others, because we were not there. But I condemn Adolf Hitler for what he has done. I condemn Ho Chi Minh for what he has done. I condemn Stalin for what he has done. But then again, are we going to sit down and allow what happened into Palestine? So my condolence also goes out to the Palestinian people. Also into Africa, where they're killing for land. Politicians, the most corrupt elements that want your vote, when you put them in power, they do their own thing, fortify their friends and family, and they don't care who died, because it's our parents, fathers, brothers, uncles, are protecting them. It is time for we to stand up and speak with one voice. The only thing that divides us internationally is languages and culture. You call yourself Indians, Chinese, European, Latin and South Americans, and others. But we are all human beings, created by the hands of God. It is time for we not to look back of 1,000 years ago, especially when the historian can tell you black people was in Guyana before the Native Amerindian. Black people was in Japan before the Japanese. Black people was in China before the Chinese. Black people was in Europe before the European, as the white man, as you say. Or black people was in India before the Indians. Friends, come up with this bullshit. Come up with it. Wherever there might be, as you call yourself black people, I don't believe in the word black people. I have never seen a black woman or a black man. I've never seen a white man or a white woman. It's all in your vocabulary. It's all in your language. It's all in your culture. Get off of this. In Africa, blacks been killing blacks for hundreds of years in tribalism. So what have you said about that? In the Apache tribe in the Americas, from the from the Falkland all the way to Mexico and America, the 9 tribes was killing one another. What is it? And India divided because of religion, and Bangladesh divided from Pakistan because Indian people love to divide. They love trouble. But we, the most fortunate one in the Western power, the Caribbean, black and Indian alike, African descendant and Indian descendant. Bear in mind, I condemn the word black man and white man. But I'm using it because that is what you all understand. Friends, I remember a lot of things as a child growing up in Georgetown, Guyana. I got the African blood in me from Ghana. I have East Indian blood in me from India. But I am not a black person or an Indian, I'm a mixed race. And in America today, I congratulate Ms. Harris on her development running for the presidency in the Democratic Party. But I very hostile and worried over some words that used by those people who was lecturing on the convention the other day. Here, when they use words like President Obama's wife Michelle, I hope, if I remember right, forgive me, it's alleged, I'm going to use alleged, not a pledge. I hope they know he's fighting for a black job or a black woman or man job. That should not be from an educated woman like that. In a country full of all kind of people, the color, race and nationality should not be out of your mouth when we are trying to heal the wound that was created by our foreparents and even lately in the 60s, 70s and 80s and on to now. Come on! There are no such thing as white job, black job, Chinese job and Indian job. If the Bible that God says He created us in His own image and likeness, He didn't create a black man or a woman. He didn't create a white man or a woman. Then if He do that, then He caused the problem that we are going through today. Because I have never seen this two, black and white in human beings. I see white cow, birds, and many other things. And they say there's no such thing as a black cow, or goat, or sheep, dark brown, or whatever they call it. But nevertheless, we have to come out of this nonsense and put the word forward. Friends, we all have to die one day. We must stand up for human dignity. The blacks out of Africa should go down on your knee and praise God that the European, as the white man you said, brought you out. He didn't capture you. Your ancestors sold your ancestor to him, which I'm a part of. If that didn't happen, I wouldn't have been here. And the Indians, because Indians love paisa money. They love to fight for land that don't belong to them. They love the voodoo man, the Kalimai church. Some may not like it. Blacks also call it obia, or witchcraft. And y'all like it too. But friends, if you believe in what is right, then let's unite for a better future. In Africa, many African parents sell their children to the devil, to the voodoo man, because they want to get wealth. In Guyana, I heard the same thing was happening because of uncivilized. Civilization have a long way to go. And I think if you are a, as you call yourself, black man or black woman, white man or white woman, Indian man or Indian woman, Chinese man or Chinese woman, what is the color? And if you expect to go to heaven, are you going as a black man or woman, a white man or woman, a Chinese man or Chinese woman, or Indian man or Indian woman? You bloody bastards. Why are you so dense to understand that God made man in His image and likeness? Why you cannot understand that we are only divided by languages and culture? Why we have to be using these kind of things to insult one another? And you, the African descendant out of Africa, You say the white man slaved you. Do you know your history? You were the first king and queen. And if Adam and Eve were black, and Jesus was black, and Muhammad was black, who Muhammad went to war with? Not Europeans, white, Chinese, not East Indian of India. Had to be black people. And who killed Jesus? Come on. If he was woolly hair and brown skin, who killed him? It was black people. Whether you say they put you on the cross and God do miracle, I can understand that. But can you remember the Bible? When he went up to the mountain, you remember his prayer? Father, take the cup and run it over. Prepare me a body. Remember those words. And let my day be done on earth. What you all understand about that? And when they accused him wrongfully, and he was pressing the cross, the African descendant named Simon helped him press the cross. Could it be that that was the body that was on the cross and not Jesus the Christ? And let's face reality. We all are getting literature from the European and others. All historians write 10 or 11% truth and all the rest is fiction. Today you may see some artwork. You might see some painting with our black brothers and sisters. Look how they dress with the jewels. Look how they dress in them time. And modern civilization in 18th and 17th and 16th century, they were bringing the Africans with just a cloth around the private parts. All the women's breasts was out and many also became naked. Even until today, even in India. I don't know much of China because they are very, secret with their nation. Friends, it is time we, the wise people, must come out of this race talk. And for you, the African descendant who is out of Africa, living in the America, Europe, and elsewhere, you spoke what the white man done, as you call him white man, European, but I'm using your language. What have you given back to Mother Africa since knowing that's where your ancestor came from? And you're asking for reparation. And you are billionaires, trillionaires, and you don't help Africa, only Oprah, as I'm aware of. Y'all don't even adopt a black child. But the same European as white people adopt children from all parts of the world. So what are you saying? In the West Indies and many parts, you don't even identify and claim your children. You breed your women as your sisters and run away. And you call child mother, child father. Wake up to civilization. Come up of white man and black man. Coolie man and black man, come up of it. In Guyana, what the Indian race went through in the 60s, because Dr. Jagan, an Indian bastard, talked about communism, and John F. Kennedy warned him about it, and I repeat it. When he told him to stop communism, he said you could stop the clock, but not communism. What nonsense is this? And they brought the islander from St. Lucia, another part of the Caribbean, to live amongst the blacks, to know the country, until that crucial day, when Princess Margaret, sister, leave the Thursday night, and Friday was fire and brimstone. They call it Black Friday. So for you, the blacks who don't know what the blacks do to Indian and other race, shut up. Get your facts before you open up your mouth. And when Burnham go into power, if the Portuguese didn't join with him, you would have never get power. But the guy was the finance minister. Arthur Chong was your president, first president. Y'all, Burnham do a lot and get rid of both of them slowly. My friends, let me tell you something. The crime that you have committed against an innocent man or woman, you both raised, your children shall answer the call. Guyana is not Africa or India. You, the black race, what you have done under Burnham, 90-something% of the civil servant was all black. You excuse, the Indian is not educated. But then we bring the Cooperative Republic of Guyana. Then everybody should have been in the military and the police force. But black people was the one, 90-something%. But yet we talk about apartheid in South Africa. And Burner was giving money in Nelson Mandela country, but he had an apartheid system. Friends, Desmond Hoyt was the only honorable black leader in Guyana to compare with Mr. David Granger. It's alleged to a black boy in prison. It's alleged. Now, tell me, no leaders have a right to speak like that if the man had done it. Today in Guyana, I heard the Coolie government, but you could see development all over. Even if they tell you they're giving you a road and they break up a couple of months after, they are trying. But in any development, there are a lot of thieves going to be a part of it. People are going to thieve. And they have no right. The contraction, our contract should be people bidding for a contract, not friends and family. But nothing lasts forever. Take Kemraj Ramtatan, security minister, a man who couldn't be prime minister, president in the PPP that was kicked out, with Nagamutu. But that man will answer to me, not long from now. What you don't like for yourself, don't like for others. And let it be known to you, America gets what America wants. And no crime shall be unpaid, Ramtatan. And for the magistrate and judge that was a part of it, your days are coming. And your children, all of you, shall eat their filth. Y'all don't like to hear it because my cameraman says a bad word. But what the God says, your children shall answer the charge. Did not God say that? The scripture. So if I say you would eat, they would eat their filth. I didn't say nothing wrong. Why my children would have to suffer for my crime? If that is what God says. Because He's God. He's not to be questioned. But He drunk the wall and saved it. And a pair of everything. But when we fight back and speak out, we are victimized by Indian and African descendants in Guyana. So tell me, is that fair? When the PPP started knock down the house in Boca and other place, the news media with the blacks claiming, why the Coolie knocking down the black people house? They not want them do it to them too. Indian people are like Jews, but not all Indians are bad, not all Jews are bad. They are very regretful. They don't forget. They are very ungrateful. They don't remember kindness. But again, there's good and bad in both sides. The good black people don't stand for nonsense, and they be victimized by their own black brothers. The good Indians, the same. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I urge you in the name of your God, wake up. It is time for we in Guyana to draw a line. A woman went to the UN or some way, a African descendant, I won't say black. I will not release the video. And she said what the government is doing to black people. Was she born and see what the blacks have done to the Indian, the Chinese, the Portuguese, the mixed race, and even the native Indian, the Amerindian? But yet you black people out of Africa, you African descendant, I use your word, eh? So if I'm wrong, y'all are my teacher. Okay? I gotta give you how you know it. Y'all talk about the European as the white man slave you. What have you done to others in their own country? You are some of the greatest singers and actors, and I gotta keep repeating it. Scientists, doctors, making millions and billions. What you give back to Mother Africa? Did you give back anything? Only opera. Come on. We are only divided by the continents and languages, culture, and religion. And why religion and race have to be a part in a political campaign? Like India with Modi. He say India is for Hindus. Then he should be isolated with his Indian Hindu situation and stay by themselves. Pakistan got problem, Bangladesh got problem, even India got problem. You Indians, wake up for God's sake. If you want to go to heaven, You think God or Bhagwan or Allah will allow you to take away the seed from Jesus, Muhammad, Krishna, Ram and Sita over there? Come on. Wake up, man. But every crime that was committed against innocent man and woman in Guyana, somebody have your name and you know what you've done. You will answer it. I don't care if you're 200 years old, you will answer it. The nation will decide your fate. And if you kill a man 20 years or 30 years is his age, and you prove that you've done him wrong, that the amount of your family shall go through the same thing. I swear to God, I'm telling you. So for all you killers in uniform who are killing for the Indian government, I urge you to stop. Go to the UN and report it, or an embassy and ask for political asylum. All right? I send my condolence now to Israel for the fallen innocent people and the decent Israelites around the world. They don't like what's happening. I send my condolence out also to the people of Palestine, because 1947 they was to be in Guyana. Thanks to the British and the Americans that take them there. But then, how could we bomb refugee place, killing innocent people, jailing journalists, killing them, and then squatter, I have killing them, bulldozing their house. We talk about the 7th of October, and if they do it, I condemn it 1,000,000%. But what did the Jews do in June? It's alleged 200 or something was killed. What are they doing right now? Bulldozing the people place. Why it can't be a two-party country, two-state? Why every country the Israelites go, they'll be rejected? And in Ukraine, come the same thing, friends. We learn from Ho Chi Minh. We learn from the Adolf Hitler. We learn from Stalin. We have learned from Saddam Hussein and many other tyrants in the past. Let us draw a line as a young generation and heal this wound and show the ancestors in the past. Modern generation believe in love, not hatred. All right? Religion and race should not get involved in a political campaign. America happens to be a country dominations of the white race, followed by the Hispanic, followed by the blacks, and other Asian groups between. And if you as a politician want to do good, then you should let your spokespeople, your speakers, them who will take the microphone, don't use words about white man job, Asian job, Spanish job, or black job, because you are dividing the people more. So if you had a chance to win, you have just put a nail into the coffin. Stop it. Let's talk about America's future. Where do we go from here? When will we start to unite to bring forward human rights and democracy and equality for all? Instead of using white man job, Asian job, Spanish job. Come on. And when we talk of slavery, you read the Bible. The Lord Almighty said, I make man in my own image and likeness, not color. He also says, from thy sweat you shall eat bread. Isn't that slavery, ladies and gentlemen? But he provides for the birds in the air. But once you're a man, a human being, you have to sweat before you eat bread. Today you're eating meat, chicken, turkey, mutton, fish. So maybe God didn't remember that, or we don't have a right to eat meat and chicken and fish. Crabs and shrimp. Because he said from the shrimp we shall eat bread. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Stop being ignorant and wake up to reality. I congratulate those who marry other races, as you call them, black, white, brown, or yellow. For you are the true sense of humanity and want peace and love and affection into this world. Because you are breaking the tension of the racial clash. And if a Hindu marry a Muslim or a Christian, vice versa, you have destroyed the religious segregation thing that believe that Islam only belongs to one race, or Hinduism or Christianity. Alright? So I congratulate all of you who believe in that. What I can't understand, America was founded on the rights of God, as we were told. Abraham Lincoln had freed the slave. But today we are modern slaves. We can't even afford to pay our rent, feed our children, pay our hospital bill if we do not get help from the government or doing a job so we can take care of ourselves. And let me be honest, which one of you as a human being are better than the Almighty that created you? If you are born with black hair, white hair, red hair, gray hair, white hair, unless it's nature. Why put tattoo on your skin when God is the world's greatest designer? He make everything. You don't think if he know you would have looked good with a tattoo, he wouldn't have put it on your body? Friends, I ask you to wake up. Wake up and stop listening to corrupt politicians and preachers. All preachers, Jesus and God talk to them. But you got to give them 10%. 4 or 5 times the envelope on the Sunday ceremony or Tuesday or Wednesday. And the politician promise everything that is good. And you put them in power by give them a job, but they protect themselves, take care of themselves, but keep you as a beggar. Wake up, for God's sake. Wake up. Take Guyana. Let the past be the past, but don't forget the crime that was committed against the innocent. And every crime that was committed from the past, somebody know who do it, and the nation must decide what to do after that. Today, I heard the oil money, but yet, and one thing must be done in Guyana, the day of arrival and emancipation. Because if the Bible story is true, and the Garden of Eden is in Africa, which was another name, then we are all Africano or that name, spread out into different parts of the 4 corners. So for you, the preacher, the imam, the pundits, the preachers, and others, let's unite this world for what's left in it. Let's help each other and make this world a better place. So the primitive ancestors in the past can learn from our present and the future where we are heading. Civilization got far to go. My friends, it's just a matter of time. Let's unite. If Ms. Harris is capable of running the America, so be it. If Trump is so wanting to run America, so be it. We must not be the one to fight each other. We understand one is a businessman, one is a law professor, prosecutor, and whatever. You cannot expect a fisherman or a carpenter to speak like a preacher or a politician. The man happens to be a businessman, wheel and deal. And we should have an age limit. Who must rule this country? All right? We cannot put a man who's suffering with Alzheimer's to run a country, or a woman. Instead of you going to Miami, you might end up in Alaska. Or instead of going to Florida, to go to Toronto, you might end up in France. So we have to have younger people with understanding, charisma, who understand age have a problem. Now, I am not knocking anybody here today, ladies and gentlemen, but I urge all of our fellow listeners, unite for God's sake. Let's Guyana form a national front government where we won't have to hear the black government, the coolie government. It must be the people's government. Let's make an Amerindian man and woman the leader of the country administered by the other race. And let the law of the land belong to everybody. No magistrate police, military, no politician will be above the law. All right? And let's open up the door to the less fortunate around the world. That's all I'm begging for. And for those who are robbing people their land, pulling out the surveying pin, bribing surveyor, your days are coming and a lot of you will answer. And I think there should be a death penalty for that kind of crime. Once you prove you pull out a man's surveyor pin, covet his land, give me headache, stress, you don't need to be on this earth. All right? Because no man must dishonor another man like that. But you Indian people, you love to do that. Take Mohanlal of Canaan, who say he buy a dam, but you only black off where the black woman live at the back, and where we had to pass after so many years, where the NDC supported, and I hear the Indian man can't even walk. I had wished him, if you remember. My friends, for you decent Indian and African descendant in Guyana, let's unite and make Guyana a stepping stone for unity and open up the door to the rest of the world, the fortunate few that are running from tyrants in any part of the world. The only difference of us is cultures and our religion and our nationality. But we are all human beings. Friends, I ask you in the name of God to let's speak with one voice. I would like to bring this program to an end at this present moment, because I think I have said a mouthful, and I urge that all of you will wake up tomorrow. You vote for the PNC, what have you got? You vote for the PPP, what have you got? Tell me, Mackenzie name changed to Linden. Back of South Longwell is Roxanne Burnham Garden. Now the airport got Chetty Jagan. And then up in Barbies, you got Babu Jan. I ain't hear an Amerindian name yet. And they are the first people. My friends, how can we give justice in a country, call it law, when we are denying the native Amerindian their rights? Then I call upon the American and the British to step into Guyana and disarm the government and the police force and put up an independent leadership until we can come to grip. But at the same time, if the PPP is doing what is right, it is the nation's duty to support them. But if they are doing wrong, it is the duty to expose them and don't vote for them. And we don't want a black government or an Indian government. We want a people's government. Can Ali go to India and be the president? No, he's a Muslim. That's a different story now. They divide because of religion, Pakistan, Bangladesh. And that's their own people. In Africa, they're fighting over river and land. And they are the Africans. Why the Chinese only talk but not killing each other? My friends, wake up to civilization. This young generation deserves better. Let's unite and make this world a better place. Let's support freedom for all and democracy around the world. And if Ms. Kamala Harris is the person to be the President of the United States, I wish her all the best. And I call upon you, the people of America, to do what is right for the future of your generation. If Trump is the person to do what is right, it is our duty also. But then again, this is like this is like Barabbas versus Jesus. Only one happens to be a woman and one happens to be a man. So where is the independent? So it means if you don't pick Barabbas, you have to pick Jesus. But the innocent always pay for the guilty ones. But then, I have listened to the Democratic Convention, And I've listened to some speech that those people should never have bring it up. Religion and race have nothing to do with the future of a country, especially when you are in a nation with a multi-religion, a multi-race. Think of it. You will create a division so wide that it's worse than slavery. Hatred, because we don't mean to change. I look at an interview where Miss Harris says she's black. I heard my black brothers and relatives say 1 drop of blood, of black blood in you are black. And then why we put milk in coffee and we call it brown or we call it white? Friends, a tiger cannot be a lion, a zebra cannot be a mule or a horse. All right? Get that clear. And a sheep cannot be a goat. And a camel cannot be an ostrich. So let's come up with this nonsense and unite and make America great. And let's put the right person there. Politician full of talks like preachers. But ask God to appoint us to do what is right. Why many countries don't have a third party to run? If you don't take the Democrat, you have the Republican. Where's the independent? In Guyana, it's not the PPP, it's PNC. Now you have APP. No. All of them are one, friends, in Guyana. Ramjatan, Nagamutu, all of them were PPP. Trotman was PNC. But I call upon you, the Guyanese people, Indian and African descendant, is the two of you got the problem. Not the Amerindian, not the mixed race, not the few Portuguese and Chinese. All right? So let's unite. If Mr. Ali is doing good, it's your duty to keep him there. But to stop the rhetoric of a Kuli government and a black government, then we must come to a national front, the only solution, to bring about peace. But we must give the nation who belong to that country their rights. They must lead it. Many people ask me, Mr. Karai, why don't you run for president? I says, no, it's an Amerindian country. I cannot go into Africa and run to be a mayor or a governor when the African child and children in the soil that born and grow there deny their rights. Or China, or Europe. No, I will not be going to heaven if God give me a break to kick Muhammad out, or Jesus, or Moses, or Noah, or Abraham. Come on, man. Wake up to civilization. Politics and religion should not be a part of a nation development. Okay? Let's unite and make this world a better place for the next generation. And with the oil wealth in Guyana, everybody should get land and money to build their house. And every crime that was committed from Barnum time to now must be reopened. Judge, magistrate, police, and all who was involved in crime against innocent people shall and will answer their charge. And the nation must decide what they are going to do. With this, I want to thank you all for listening. And let's hope for a bright future into a marriage. I don't care about religion. God made man, he didn't make religion, okay? And my brothers and sisters, we are all children in this universe, created by the Supreme Being, Almighty God. May Allah, Bhagwan, and God be with all of us. Let's try unity. Stop all selfish killing and war around the world. From Ukraine to Africa to Israel, to Pakistan, to Bangladesh, Haiti, and others. I says my greatest condolence to all who are going through tribalism and war. Innocent people are being killed. Thank you all for listening, and may God be with all of us. Goodbye. I am your host, George. Thank you.